Hi. In this session, we'll discuss some more interesting properties of trees. I hope you know what is trees. Trees is basically a connected graph without any circuits. Okay, so we know what is a tree. It's basically a connected graph without any circuits. Okay. Today we'll introduce the concept of minimally connected graphs. Okay. So basically, what by the name suggests, minimally connected is a connected graph which is the bare minimum. Okay. So basically, first of all, it's a connected graph, and here the minimum is the number of edges are the minimum. Okay, so the idea is that if you delete at one edge from this graph, the graph will be disconnected. Okay, so a connected graph in which the deletion of an edge, any edge, if you delete any edge from the graph, suppose if you delete any edge from the graph is disconnected, such a graph is called minimally connected graph. Okay, so a minimally connected graph is a graph in which the deletion of any edge makes it disconnected. Okay, and let us try to analyze an important property of minimally connected. Suppose I am having minimally connected graph. Can it have circuits? It can have circuits. Let us analyze this problem. Okay, suppose my minimally connected graph is like this. It has a circuit like this. So one circuit is there. Okay, and suppose I am going to delete one edge here. Okay, suppose I am going to delete this edge here. Okay, so is it disconnected? No. So if there are circuits, this graph cannot be minimally connected because the deletion of an edge from the circuit will not disconnect the graph. Okay, but if you remember one thing, so if I delete this edge, it may this edge it will be disconnected because if we delete that edge, because it will be disconnected because this vertex would be an isolated vertex. Okay, but for a minimally connected graph, if you delete any edge, the graph should be disconnected. Okay, but if there is a circuit is there, and if I delete an edge from the circuit, the graph will not be disconnected. If I delete some other edge, maybe the graph will be disconnected, but for a minimally connected graph, deletion of any edge should disconnect the graph. Okay, so you can understand that. So therefore a minimally connected graph cannot have circuits. So there are no circuits in a minimally connected graph, because if there are circuits, deletion of an edge from the circuit will disconnect the graph. Okay, so what can you say about minimally connected graph and trees? Therefore minimally connected graphs are trees. Okay, for being a tree, it should be connected and also circuitless, and now we have forgot that a minimally connected graph does not have circuits, and moreover it is connected, therefore it is a tree. Okay, now let us try to show that a tree is always minimally connected. Okay, so we have now showed that a minimally connected graph is a tree. Now we will show that a tree is a minimally connected graph. Okay, so we will show that a tree is a minimally connected graph. Okay, for that we have already studied logic. We have to show that if you have to show that P implies Q, we know that this is equivalent to showing that negation Q implies negation P. Okay, I hope you understand this. This is called contrapositive. We have studied that both of them are just the same. Okay, so you will use that approach. Okay, so I will show that if a graph is not minimally connected, then it is not tree. Okay, so if I have to show that a tree is minimally connected, I will show that if it is not minimally connected, then it is not a tree. So that is, I am going to apply the contrapositive approach here. Okay, so suppose a graph G is not minimally connected. Suppose it is not minimally connected. Okay. Okay, then we'll show that this is not tree. So G is not a tree. We'll show that G is not a tree. Okay, why is this? So I'm taking connected graph here. Okay, so suppose a connected graph G is not minimally connected, then I'll show that G is not tree here. Okay, so what do you mean by the graph G is not minimally connected? That means it contains that means there is an edge E such that G minus E is still connected. Okay, so a graph G is not minimally connected, a connected graph G is not minimally connected uh, if it if it was minimally connected, the deletion of every edge should disconnect the graph. Okay, suppose it is not minimally connected, means there is an edge E such that G minus E is still connected. That means even if I delete E, what is the meaning of even if I delete the graphs will be still connected. That is why it is not become minimally connected. Okay, so suppose the graph was somewhere just like this, and there is a vertex U is there and a vertex V is there. Okay, and suppose this is my edge E. Okay, so this is my edge E. So deletion of this edge E still leaves the graph connected. Okay, that means there is an alternate path from U to V, right? Okay, even if E is gone, there is still this graph will be connected only if there is a path between any two vertices. So even if I delete this E, there is an alternate path from this U to V. Okay, suppose that path is going from, it may go to some other vertex W, maybe x and reach back to v. Okay, so this is why the graph is still connected, because even when I deleted the connection between u and v, it was still connected. That means there is an alternate path from u to v. Okay, that means this e was actually part of a circuit. Okay, so what does that mean? So if a connected graph is not minimally connected, it means there exist circuits. Okay, so there exist circuits means this graph cannot be a tree as well. Okay, so now we have shown that a connected graph is a minimally connected, then it is a tree. And similarly, if it is a tree also, then if a connected graph is a tree, then it is also minimally connected. So we have proved both these assertions. Okay, what are they? So first we showed that a minimally connected graph is a tree. In the reverse process, I took a tree. Okay, so the graph was obviously connected. Then I want to show that it is minimally connected. So I took a tree. So the graph G is obvious. So I suppose G is a tree. Okay, so it is connected. So I have to show that it is minimally connected. Okay, so for that what I took the reverse one. I just assume the contrapositive. So for proving the contrapositive, what is it? In order to show that P implies Q, it is enough to show that negation Q implies negation P. Okay, so we'll show that if the graph is G was not minimally connected, then it is not a tree. Okay, so we assume that the graph G was not minimally connected. That means there exists some edge E whose deletion from G will not disconnect the graph. Okay. Okay, in order to be minimally connected, deletion of any edge should disconnect the graph. If it is not minimally connected, that means there is some edge E whose disconnection will not disconnect the graph, whose deletion will not disconnect the graph. So that means that if there is an edge E like this, if I just delete that edge E, the endpoints u and still have another path to go into. Okay, so there is still a connection between u and v through some other path. Suppose this is the path. Okay, so it is going through some other vertices and reaching v again. And if you now consider this path together with our edge which was deleted, we will see that this deleted edge was actually part of a circuit. That is why its deletion did not disconnect the graph. Okay, so that means this graph contains circuits, and hence it is not minimally connected, and hence it is also not a part tree. Okay, so if a graph is not minimally connected, then it cannot be a tree as well. Okay, so it is an if and only condition now. Okay, so if a graph is minimally connected, then it is a tree, and if it's a graph is a tree, then it's a minimally connected. Okay, so you can see these things here. Okay, so if it's a minimally connected, if the removal of any edge disconnects the graph. Okay, we have already discussed it. Okay, and the minimally connected graph cannot have circuits, because suppose this is a graph here, it has a circuits, and if I delete this edge, you can see that still the graph will be connected. Okay, so this is the problem of circuits. So in order for a graph to be minimally connected, the first and foremost condition is that it should not have circuits. Okay, because if you delete an edge from the circuit, it will disconnect the graph. Okay, if you delete an edge from here, okay, so an edge which is not part of a circuit, it will disconnect the graph. Okay, but that is not a condition here. For a minimally connected graph, if you delete any edge, it should be disconnected. Okay, it doesn't mean that if you delete one edge, it should be disconnected. If you delete any edge, it should be disconnected. So that is a property there. So there cannot be circuits anywhere. Okay, if there is a circuit, if you delete one edge from circuit, still the graph will be connected. Okay, and similarly, we proved that if a connected graph is not minimally connected, then it is not a tree also. Okay, so we have to show that every tree is minimally connected. So I am taking a tree, I am going to show that a tree is minimally connected. In order to show that, I am going to take the reverse process. I will just show that negation Q implies negation B. Okay, suppose I am taking a connected graph G, and suppose it is not minimally connected, then I will show that it is not a tree as well. Okay, so if it is not minimally connected, that means there exists some edge E such that deletion of that edge E still leaves the graph connected. That means there will be an alternate path between the n vertices of E. Okay, so here actually 4 and 2 are the n vertices of E. So even if I delete E, still 4 and 2 can be connected through this path, which goes through 4F5G2. So it still be connected through this path. Okay, so if you consider this path together with this edge E, you can see that E is forming a part of a circuit. Okay, so that means if this graph is not minimally connected, then it has circuits. Okay, and if it has circuits, we can say that it is not a tree as well. Okay, so if a graph is not minimally connected, then it is not a tree as well. Okay, so we have proved that if a graph is a tree, if and only if it is minimally connected. So very simple, straightforward theorem. Okay, and moving forward, okay, we will analyze another result. Already we have shown that a tree with n vertices has n minus 1 edges. Okay, and the reverse one also we have proved, that is a connected graph with n minus 1 edge. A connected graph, that's very important, a connected graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges is a tree. Okay, so these two results we have already proved. Okay, so what are they? We have proved that if a tree with n vertices has n minus 1 edges, and the reverse one also, a connected graph G with n minus 1 edges, it means with n vertices and n minus 1 edges is a tree. Okay, but for that this assumption that the graph is connected was necessary, and we just showed that the graph did not have any circuits. Okay, and now we are going to another a more stronger one, that is any graph. Okay, any graph G with n vertices and n minus 1 edges. Okay, any graph G with n vertices and n minus 1 edges and without any circuits. That is a condition. So without any circuits is a tree. Okay, so I hope you understand what is this. So basically a tree is connected and circuitless. Okay, so this we know. Okay, and now we are assuming that when we have proved one result that a connected graph with n minus 1 edges was a tree. So this we have done earlier. Okay, now we are going to do another thing, a circuitless graph with n minus 1 edges is a tree. That is what we are going to do here. Okay, so the graph may be connected or not, so we don't know. So a circuitless graph with n minus 1 edges is connected, is a tree. That's what we are going to prove here. Okay, so let us go back to the result again. A graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges and no circuits is connected. Okay, so what I have to show, we are going to take a graph G. The property of G is that first of all it is circuitless and it has n minus 1 edges, and I have to prove that it's a tree. Okay, now what is a tree? A tree has two properties. First of all, it is circuitless and it is connected. Okay, so I have to show that G is connected. If I show that G is connected, then obviously it will be a tree. Okay, so we have been given that G is circuitless. Only thing I have to do again is that I have to show that G is connected. Okay, so let us assume that G is disconnected. Okay, so what is G is disconnected? So we will prove a contradiction. Suppose G is disconnected. Okay, so it means it will have many components. Okay, so I'll assume that G has two components. It can have more components, but still I'll assume that G has two components. Maybe I'll call it as one G1 and G2. Okay, so this is one G1 and this is one G2. Okay, so it is not a circle. I'm just proving some portions of G. So suppose G1 consists of something like this and G2 consists of something like this. Okay, so there is one part called G1 and another part called G2 here. Okay, there can be other components also, but I am just assuming only two components for now. Okay, now what I'll go do is that I'll take two vertices here. So suppose there is a vertex V1 here and there is a vertex V2 here. Okay, they are belonging to the two different components there, and you can see that there is no path between V1 and V2. Okay, there is no path between V1 and V2. Okay, so they are belonging to two distinct components, and suppose now I join V1 and V2 through an edge E. I am just adding an edge E now, so I am just joining V1 and V2 using an edge. You can see now that the graph is connected. Okay, now the graph has become connected. Okay, and let me ask you one question. Can E become a part of a circuit? Will E become a part of a circuit? Can E become a part of a circuit? E will become part of a circuit only if there is some other path from V1 and V2. Okay, only if there is some other path from V1 and V2 can we see that it is part of a circuit. Okay, because deletion of edge will still leave the graph connected. Okay, so E will become part of a circuit only if there is some other path from V1 and V2. Okay, that's the meaning of circuit. Okay, the meaning of circuit is that if there is any two vertices in a circuit, if I delete one portion, still I can go through this way to the vertices V1 and V2. Okay, so if you just connect E from two vertices V1 and V2 which are belonging to different components, okay, V1 and V2, I am just connecting with E. We can see that E is not part of a circuit. Okay, because there was in the beginning itself there was no path between V1 and V2, so there is only just one path between V1 and V2 which is this E, and therefore there is no new circuit added, so there is no circuit here. Okay, so now what we have got? Now we have got a graph which is first of all connected. Okay, plus there is first of all there was no initially there was no circuit, and the addition of E also does not bring any new circuits as well, because E cannot be a part of a circuit. So now we have a connected graph and circuitless graph. There is a connected graph now and circuitless graph also. Okay, so this graph is now connected. Okay, I am assuming only two components. Okay, so even if there is more components, still you can add more adjust to the different components. I am just taking only two components for now. Okay, so now I have got a connected graph without any circuits, and therefore it is a tree. Okay, so this new graph is now tree, and how many vertices does it have? It has n vertices. Okay, and how many edges does it have? Initially there were n minus 1 edges, plus 1 I have added one more edge, so I have n edges. Okay, so is this possible? No, because a tree can have only n minus 1 edges. A tree with n vertices can have only n minus 1 edges. Now we have got a tree with n vertices and n edges. Okay, it is not possible. Therefore our assumption was wrong. What was our assumption? Our assumption was that the graph was disconnected, therefore the graph is connected. Okay, so now we have got that the graph is connected, plus it is circuitless, therefore it is a tree. Okay, so let us run through the proof once again. We have to show that a graph we have to show that a graph n with n vertices and n minus 1 edges and circuitless graph is connected. Okay, so is a tree is we have to show a graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges and no circuits is connected. Okay, so that is what we have to do, or else I will prove that we'll prove another important result, that it's basically a tree. We'll show that this is basically a tree itself, because a tree is connected. Okay, so we'll show that a graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges is actually a tree itself. We'll show, or we can show a simpler thing, that a graph with n vertices and n minus 1 edges is actually connected. Okay, so we know that I am going to show that a graph with n vertices and n minus edges is actually a tree. Okay, where there is no circuits. Okay, so in order to show that this graph is a tree, we have to show two conditions. Okay, first of all, the graph should be circuitless, and next the graph should be connected. Only these two things I have to show. Okay, already it is given that the graph is circuitless. Okay, already we have showed that the graph is circuitless. Now we will show that the graph is connected. Okay, for that we will assume that the graph is disconnected, so it can have different components. Suppose this is one component called G1 and G2. Okay, and if I take two vertices in these two different components, suppose I am taking V1 and V2, we know that there is no path between V1 and V2. Okay, there is no path between V1 and V2 because they are belonging to different components. Now I am just adding an edge between them, V1 and V2, and just adding an edge E between them. Okay, now this E cannot be part of a circuit because there was earlier no path between V1 and V2. Now E is a part of a circuit only if there is some alternate path from this V1 and V2. Earlier there was no alternate path, so E cannot be part of a circuit. So even if you add this E, there are no circuits introduced into the graph. So this graph is now connected, plus it has no circuits. Okay, so what does it mean? Therefore it is a tree. Okay, and how many vertices does this graph have? This graph still has n vertices. We have not added new vertices. And how many edges does it have? Initially it had n minus 1 edges, now it has 1 edge, so it has n edges. Okay, so this is a tree with n vertices and n edges, so this is not possible. Okay, so that means our assumption is wrong. What was our assumption? The graph G is disconnected. Okay, therefore our graph G is connected. Okay, so and also plus we have also got the bonus answer is that it is a tree as well. Okay, so a graph G with n vertices, n minus 1 edges plus no circuits is always a tree. Okay, and we have also proved that a connected graph with n minus 1 edges is also a tree. Okay, so these two equivalences we have done. So let us sum up all the characterizations of trees which we have discussed all till now. Okay, so a graph with n vertices is a tree if one was if J is connected and circuitless. This is basically the definition of a tree. Okay, and next one was if J is connected and has n minus 1 edges. We have discussed this in the first session, and now we have discussed that if J is circuitless and has n minus 1 edges. Now we have discussed this proof now, and there is exactly one path between every pair of vertices. This is basically follows from the definition which we have discussed in the first session. And now one more thing I have done, if G is a minimally connected graph. Okay, so all these are actually characterizations of trees. So these are the properties of trees. Okay, and now we will discuss some important one simple properties of tree regarding pendant vertices. Okay, so what is a pendant vertex? A pendant vertex is a vertex with degree 1. Okay, so basically pendant vertex is basically a vertex with degree 1. Okay, so this is called a pendant vertex. So let us look how many pendant vertex will have the tree have. So basically you can think that pendant vertex are basically coming at the end of a graph, okay, because if a graph, if a vertex is inside the graph or is in something in the graph, inside the graph you can see that this vertex degree will be more than 1, okay. So when it is coming to the end of the graph, this vertex will have degree 1. So usually pendant graphs are associated with endpoints of a graph. You can think like that, okay. So there can be, it's not necessary, but I'm just telling you that usually pendant vertices are associated with the end of a graph, okay. So these are also end vertices, but still you can see that this vertex is basically coming to end of a graph, okay. So this pendant vertices are usually associated with the borders of a graph, so they are at the end points of a graph, okay. You can think like that, okay. Now if you look at a tree, how many pendant vertices does it have? Let us think, let's just try to understand, okay. So if you look at a tree, suppose I am taking a tree with n vertices, so let us take a tree with n vertices, okay. So I am going to take a tree with n vertices, okay. How many edges will it have? It will have n minus 1 edges, okay. And first of all, the graph is connected, and therefore all the vertex should have at least one edge come to it. Therefore the degree of every vertex should be at least greater or equal to 1, okay. That's one condition we know, okay. Now there are n minus 1 edges, so what will be the total sum of all the degrees of all the vertices? It will be, you know, that's twice the number of edges, so the sum of degree sum would be, what would be? It will be actually 2 into n minus 1, okay. Okay, so we will assume that, so the result which you are going to prove here is that a tree will have at least 2 pendant vertices. So a tree will have at least 2 pendant vertices. A tree will have at least 2 pendant vertices. So that is what we are going to prove here, okay. So if there are many trees are given here, so many trees are given, you can see that in every tree there are at least 2 pendant vertices. You can see that when there are more than 2 then there are more than 2 vertices, obviously it will have at least 2 pendant vertices. You can see from the graph here, okay. So this tree, for this tree has exactly 2, there are 3 are there, so this one and this has pendant vertices, and this also has 3, this has 3, again this has 4, okay. So we are going to prove that any tree with more than 2 vertices has at least 2 pendant vertices. It's basically a computational game with this degrees of the graph, okay. So if a graph has n vertices, it will have n minus edges, so the degree should add up to 2 into n minus 1, okay. And the degree of every vertex is greater or equal to 1. And suppose I assume that there is there are okay, so we have to show that there are at least 2 vertices with degree 1, okay. I'll assume that suppose there are no vertices with degree 1, there are no vertices with degree 1, okay. Is it possible? Suppose all the vertex n has degree greater than or equal to 2, okay. So I am assuming that degree of every vertex is greater or equal to 2, okay. So degree of every vertex, suppose it is greater or equal to 2. Is it possible? It is not possible, because there are n vertices. If every vertex has degree greater or equal to 2, that means you are getting 2n degree, so it is not possible, because the total degree is only 2 into n minus 1. So so every vertex cannot have greater than or equal to 2, so there must be some vertices with degree 1 and 0, okay. And 0 is also not possible, because the graph is connected, therefore every degree of every vertex is at least 1, okay. So exactly how many vertex will have degree 1? Is it 1? So suppose I am taking that one vertex has degree 1 and other n minus 1 vertices have degree 2 and degree greater than or equal to 2. Is that also possible? That is also not possible. Suppose that means, suppose I am taking n vertices are there, I am taking that one vertex has degree 1 and remaining vertex has degree greater than or equal to 2. So even if I take it as just 2, is it possible? It is not possible. That means, because the remaining vertex, there are n minus 1 vertices are there, okay. And if I take the degree of every other vertices greater or equal to 2, the total degree will anyway be greater or equal to 2 into n minus 1 plus 1, okay. So that is greater or equal to 2n minus 2 into n minus 1 plus 1, which is not possible, because the total degree is only actually 2 into n minus 1, okay. So this is also not possible. That means there should be more than one vertices with degree 1, okay. So so if it is at least 2 vertices, it means that it will be there will be more than one vertex with degree 1, that is there are at least 2 vertices with degree 1, there are at least 2 vertices with degree 1, okay. So basically a number game on the total degree, okay. So we have now proved that a tree will have at least 2 pendant vertices. So it can have more than 2 pendant vertices, but at least 2 will be definitely there, okay. So this is the concept of pendant vertices also. So we'll stop here, okay. Thank you.